Hello friends, good morning. I am Dr. D.V. Ramanamurthy, PhD in Management, retired Professor of Management and Dean, presently Founder Director, Attitude Positive Behavior Management Training Solutions, Hyderabad. We welcome you to our high impact channel on behavioral skills and management concepts. Mano Vigyanam, Dr. T.V. Ramanamurthy, PhD official, powered by Ramadevi Foundation, Hyderabad. We welcome to today's very interesting video discussion. Your brain decides before you do. So, who is really in control? Let's look at inside the black box of our consciousness. Welcome to the discussion. And we try to recognize the hidden gap between our thoughts and actions. Let's get on. Have you ever done something and later wondered, why did you do that? Have you ever reacted emotionally before even thinking? That invisible space between thought and action is where your consciousness lives. Today, we explore one of the greatest mysteries of science, the black box of the human mind. What is the black box? In science, a black box is something we cannot directly see or fully understand. Consciousness is exactly that. We can observe behavior, we can measure brain activity, but we cannot directly access someone's inner experience. For example, if you feel pain, others can see your reaction, but they can never truly feel your pain. That inner world remains hidden. The core idea here, the key idea is this: consciousness is not just brain activity, it actively shapes how we think, feel, and behave. Our reality is a combination of two worlds, one objective which science can measure, what science can measure, and the other subjective, what we experience internally. And here is the challenge: these two worlds do not always match. Two people can face the same situation, yet experience completely different realities. Now, let's recognize the gap between intention and action. There's a small but powerful gap between what we intend to do and what we actually do. And this gap is where consciousness operates. Think about it, friends. You unlock your phone without even realizing why. You reach for coffee automatically. Did you decide consciously, or did something else take over? This gap reveals how much of our life runs on autopilot mode. Eruption, sudden intrusions. Have we introduced a powerful concept? Here we introduce a powerful concept called eruption. Eruption means a sudden interruption in your awareness. These are moments when unconscious thoughts or emotions break into your conscious mind. For example, you suddenly get angry and say something you regret, or an old memory triggers unexpected sadness. These are not planned actions, they emerge from within. And interestingly, the more mentally stressed we are, the more these interruptions increase. So now the question, are we really in control? We then believe, we often believe, we are fully in control of our actions. But science suggests otherwise. Our behavior is influenced by hidden processes, habits, emotions, biological signals. Think about scrolling social media endlessly. Did you decide every swipe, or was it automatic? This raises a deep question. How much of our life is truly conscious? Let's discuss on the role of neuroscience. To understand consciousness, scientists study the main brain using tools like brain scans, behavioral experiments, neural activity tracking. And here is something fascinating. Sometimes the brain shows activity before we are even aware of making a decision. In simple terms, your brain may decide before you do. Subjective versus objective reality. These are two sets and sides to human experience. Objective reality, what can be measured. Subjective reality, what is felt only. For example, fear of public speaking. There may be no real danger, but the fear feels completely real. So the question is, which reality matters more? Of course, the answer is both. Consciousness in relationships. This hidden nature of consciousness also affects relationships because we don't fully understand our own thoughts. We often misunderstand others. For example, someone speaks in neutral tone, but we interpret it as anger. This creates conflict, not because of reality, but because of perception. Our mind fills gaps, sometimes inaccurately. Let's try to look at the technology in future. With advances in technology, artificial intelligence, brain stimulation, neural mapping, etc., we are getting closer to understanding consciousness. For example, central brain stimulation therapies can reduce depression. But despite all this progress, we are still far, far from fully decoding the human mind. Now, the big questions here. Some of the biggest questions remain unanswered. What exactly is consciousness? Where does it come from? Can machines ever become conscious? And is our sense of control just an illusion? The real life impact, if you can understand. Understanding consciousness is not just theoretical, it impacts everyday life. Better mental health, stronger relationships, improved decision making. For example, practicing mindfulness helps you become aware of that gap between thought and action. and awareness brings control. So what are the key takeaways of our discussion today? Let's summarize. Consciousness is still a mystery, but it shapes everything we do. Our mind is partly conscious, partly unconscious, and sometimes unpredictable even. But the more aware we become, the better we understand ourselves. So, my closing thought: your mind is not just something you use it is something you are still discovering. Maybe the real question is not what is consciousness, but who is the one experiencing it. Thank you profoundly very much for your time and attention, friends. If this video resonates with you, kindly hit the like button and share this video to your friends and relatives. And if you have any comments to make, please make your comments in the comments box. Please do subscribe to our channel, Manovijnanam, Dr. D.V. Ramanamurthy, PhD Official. Thank you for watching. See you in the next insightful video. Until then, take care, keep smiling. All the best.